Actress Pam Grier, best known for her parts in classic movies like Foxy Brown and Coffee, had a passionate but turbulent relationship with equally famous comedian Richard Pryor. The years of 1975 to 1976 saw the pair's love affair filled with passion, tension, and the lingering shadow of Pryor's battle with addiction. Grier's views on love, addiction, and self-worth were profoundly and permanently shaped by their short-lived but impactful relationship. Grier has frequently thought back on her relationship with Pryor, providing insights into the challenges of loving someone who is both brilliant and self-destructive. Grier described in a recent interview with Fox News how Pryor's drug use was a major factor in their relationship's decline. She talked about how watching him go out of control due to his addiction caused her great personal suffering in addition to straining their relationship. Grier's story illuminates the terrible reality of caring for someone who is addicted. This is a reality to which a lot of people, particularly women, can identify. Years after their breakup, in 1980, Pryor famously set himself on fire after drowning himself in 151 proof rum while on a cocaine binge. It was one of their most terrifying moments together. He suffered third-degree burns as a result of the incident, and it almost killed him. Grier chose not to visit Pryor in the hospital, even though she had once felt a strong affection for him. She clarified that her decision stemmed from her desire to remove herself from the disorder that Pryor's addiction had brought into their lives. Grier felt that she would have been complicit in Pryor's self-destruction if she had been with him all the time, especially at his darkest moments. She wanted him to know that his personal well-being was more important to her than his celebrity or the accoutrements of fame. Despite the pain, she felt that this was the right choice for her own survival. Grier's thoughts on her relationship with Pryor show a great deal of unhappiness and annoyance. As a Black woman, she could only dream of the kind of opportunities Pryor had in Hollywood, given his extraordinary talent and potential. But she also witnessed him losing those chances as a result of his incapacity to control his addiction. Grier's words capture the intense sadness of witnessing a loved one take their own life while realizing that there isn't much you can do to stop them. She acknowledged that Pryor had to make his own decisions, even if they put him on a path towards self-destruction, and she expressed a sense of resignation. Grier went into even more detail about the private and upsetting aspects of her relationship with Pryor in her memoir, Foxy, My Life in 3 Acts, published in 2010. During a visit to her doctor, she discovered one particularly startling thing. She had a medical condition brought on by a buildup of cocaine residue in her vagina and around her cervix. Grier first brushed off the doctor's question about Pryor possibly dipping his genitalia in cocaine before having sex. But after the doctor questioned her more, Grier realized that Pryor might have been using cocaine more than she had thought, since it might have been in his seminal fluid. This shocking revelation marked a turning point in Grier's life because it made clear how dangerous Pryor's addiction was and how it was affecting her own health. Grier's story of her relationship with Pryor is a compelling tale about the difficulties of being in a relationship with someone who is struggling with addiction in addition to being a tale of love and heartache. Her experience serves as a reminder of the tough decisions that loved ones frequently have to make and that other people may not always understand. In addition to acting out of self-preservation, Grier's choice to keep her distance from Pryor and refuse to participate in his downward spiral was an act of love. She knew she could not handle Pryor's addiction or his talent. She wanted him to take charge of his own relationship with Richard Pryor in the 1970s was filled with both love and heartache. Despite the deep feelings they shared, their time together was marked by the challenges of Pryor's struggle with addiction. Grier witnessed firsthand how his drug use took a toll on their relationship and on him as a person. In an interview, Grier recalled a harrowing incident where Pryor, in the depths of his addiction, set himself on fire after a binge. She made the tough decision not to visit him in the hospital, believing he needed to face the consequences of his actions on his own. Grier's choice was rooted in self-preservation and a refusal to be drawn into Pryor's destructive spiral. She knew that staying by his side might only enable his behavior. It was a painful but necessary step for her to take. In her memoir, Grier also shared a startling revelation from that period. After a doctor's visit, she learned that traces of cocaine had been found in her body, likely from Pryor's drug use during their intimate moments. This discovery, along with the realization of the extent of his addiction, was a turning point for Grier, leading her to end the relationship. Pam Grier's reflections on her time with Richard Pryor highlight the difficult choices one has to make when loving someone struggling with addiction. It's a reminder of the strength it takes to protect oneself, even when it means letting go of someone you care deeply about.